Hello and welcome to the ministry. And today's topic is it's time to take a leap of faith. We are in a season right now that we are on the cusp of one of the biggest momentous shifts in a lot of Christians' lives. If you have been in the process and preparing, the Lord is going to prepare you to shift. Everyone is on different planes of shifts. Everyone is shifting into different levels. Those of us that have been in this for a while, we're about to shift into our greatest season yet. There are some of y'all that you just came into the situation, so you may not be getting into that season where all your blessings are about to drop into your lap. It is what it is. So take it with a grain of salt. But there are others depending on, and it strictly depends on this factor. You may be a new Christian, but God may be willing to bless you in this season because He has taken you through rapid, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like your destiny wilderness destination. Meaning some people He takes through the wilderness at an accelerated pace because they can handle it. But understand, if the Lord is taking you through the wilderness in an accelerated place or an accelerated way, it's going to feel like He's ripping your insides out, pulling you left, right, and sideways. You're going to be crying. You're going to be doing all of this, and you're going to be doing it quickly. It's going to feel like He's ripping you up. And it's going to feel like it's happening pretty quickly, or it's going to you, it may feel prolonged. But He's doing it in a matter of months to a year because He needs to condense something that would take 5, 6, 8, 9 years into 1 year, because your time frame of you coming into His obedience was a little bit slow. And in order for you to get to where He needs you to go, that transitionary season is going to have to happen rapid, which means you may end up doing fasts that are intensive in order for you to reach your goals quicker, meaning you might be crying, you may be going through deliverance sessions over and over and over again. But others, they have the grace to go over a 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Some people take 15 and 20 years, but they were graced for that time frame to take place. But some people, He needs you to move into place right now. So that's why you could end up having a season where yours is short. A coach of mine, when she does her seasons, as she was going through her seasons, it would take her 3 months at the most to complete a season of testing. It took me 4 years. Everybody moves at a different pace. So you got to understand which season you're in. You got to understand what leaps God's asking you to take. And you cannot skip the process. Whether it's the super intensive process or it's the long drawn out process. But whichever way it is, you ain't going to be able to skip it. I'm sorry. I love you. And I love you enough to tell you right now, you're not going to be able to skip it. I love you. I love you. I love you with all the love of Jesus Christ. But it ain't going to happen. You're going to have to go into that dark, dank, uncomfortable place, and you're going to have to walk through it. He may take you through it fast, but understand, if He takes you through it fast, it's going to feel like somebody snapping every bone in your body and trying to literally destroy you from the inside out. I'm being nice. So you may want to enjoy the process if He's taking you the long way around, because that means that you're not going through as much pain as you would go through if you went the short route. Everybody likes to look at the short route with the sun and the daisies and all that. And they're like, oh, it's the short route. Let me go that way. God will purposely not take you that way because of the fact that he knows that you will turn back in the intensity if you are not made well enough to handle it. If you can't handle intensity, you can't handle pain, he's going to take you the longer route. Now, I had to go through an extensive period in order to go through my preparation season when I took my first leap into leaving and going to New York. But he took me the long route. But there were a lot of spiritual warfare I had to deal with in order to get out of that season. I had to deal with generational lineage curses off over 3 different family names. And it was intense. It was so intense that at one point, right straight in the middle, after a 2-year period, he removed me from that season and put me somewhere else for an entire month and an external week. And then put me back. I cried my eyes out when he took me back to that place. I was like, I did not want to come back here. But even Joseph, he was in slavery. He was in slavery for all that period of time. He came out. Then he had the accusation come against him. And then he was put right back into prison. I walked through a whole entire season of that. I literally was walking through the Bible when I was walking through that experience. I was like, wow. Wow. So God will take you through some things, but you have to be willing when he tells you to go forth to walk on the water in the direction in which God is telling you to go. For when Jesus walked on the water, Jesus was out. He told the disciples to go on ahead of him because he went up to the mountain and he prayed and sat with the Lord. After he prayed and sat with the Lord, he ended up coming back down, and because he is Jesus, he walked across the water instead of taking another boat because it was quicker for him to get there that way. They saw him and the storm was coming in and they thought that he was a ghost. Peter comes and sees him and is asking him, what do you want us to do? He said, come forth. Peter was the only one that had the tenacity to get off the boat. He said, well, if Jesus is walking on water, let me see if I can. And he started to walk on the water, same as Jesus was. But it was when the storm started to intensify, he started to look to his right, to his left, and he became afraid. But he was right there at Jesus when he became afraid and stopped paying attention to the way that he was walking and started to slip. He called out to Jesus. Jesus grabbed him. That's how close he was to Jesus that Jesus called. All he had to do was reach out and grab him. A lot of us are in seasons where we're about to step into, we're going to have to walk on water. It's going to be one of those water walking seasons that I ain't never been in a place like this before. I don't know what this is. I don't know how I'm going to operate in this. But boy, Jesus, be the fence that you are, because you about to send me around things, people, places, and scenarios that me don't know. But I mean, you told me and we prepared, so I guess I'm going to just take a leap and jump in. Because it's what you're going to have to do. Jesus told Peter to come, and Peter went. Jesus is telling a lot of us the time is running down on the season that you're in, and I'm bidding you to come forth and do what it is I'm calling you to do. I was prophesied to not even 2 to 3 weeks ago by somebody. I was a little bit concerned and I was working on a certain set of things and I was like, what am I going to do? And this person kind of told me God's telling you to come forth. Come forth. So, from then till now, I've been intensely working on what it is that has been on my mind that I felt the Lord was really telling me to work on and in. And this is one of the areas in which He's had me working in as He's building up and preparing me for the other areas. See, we as children of God have the tendency that we follow God only as long as He's doing the things we feel are comfortable for us to do. And we know and understand what it is that we have to do. But when He starts to become scarce, and the second that that we have no idea what in the world we're doing and where we're going, we begin to back up. That'll be just fine. I'm okay right where I'm at. God will tell us something like move. I was told to move. I know a major move is coming forth for me. Can't say where now, but the signs are there for me for this next season. And it's scary because that's a place like, really, Lord? Is that really where you're sending me? I'm hoping it's only temporary. And I'm going to do something which will shift me to my next location, but I have to go through that place to get there. But okay. He's given me confirmation, just like He's spoken courage over Peter. You have to walk with Jesus and jump out of the boat. That whatever it is, you have to know that you are prepared. I was listening to a word that a young woman, I listened to it when it was originally released last year, which shows me that I may not have been in alignment for it to manifest for me last year, but now is the time that I believe the words that I was hearing last summer are supposed to manifest in my life this summer, because these words keep coming back up. And God will bring things back around to you in seasons in which they're supposed to manifest as a God wink and confirmation. Now's the time. He will show you through scriptures, sermons, people He's placed around you, things that you were given, plans, so on and so forth, to let you know that you are prepared. He will give you the money. He will give you the food in order to prepare you. He will even give you the clothing necessary in order for you to change your garments into the thing that you are meant to walk into. The only way that you can know for certain which way you're supposed to go is to go into prayer and supplication with God. That means some of us have to go into consecration. Some of us need to walk in certain alignments so all things are falling into place the way in which they are supposed to. You see, sometimes God places you in certain situations that seemingly are annoying, and when you are within it, His word is the way in which He gives you in order for you to see and hear your way out. For you are meant to speak the word in that season. Even when it looks like the whole scenario looks left. God has shown me, told me, and expressed to me there's some major things that are coming for me. And I'm talking about shortly. Shortly. And He's even seemingly told me that they're shorter than I think that they are coming. And a lot of people have been bringing about confirmation words. It's going to happen sooner than you think. It's going to happen sooner than you think. It's closer than you think. You're thinking. Somebody released a word a while ago. Was that blind spot? I think it was called blind spot. And it was talking about when you look through a mirror on your car, objects will appear closer than they seem. Your blessing is so much closer than it seems naturally. Naturally, it appears like there's nothing here to show that thing is about to happen. No point of contact, no communication, no new money, no new this, no new that. And you're sitting there like, God, are you sure? Are you sure you're sure? Because, and God's funny with me. The way he deals with me, he says, it's closer than you think. I'm like, closer than I think and closer than you think are two different things, Lord. It's like closer than you think. And I'm like, okay. So a lot of these things that you're preparing for and have been praying for are way closer than you think. Your issues are about to fall flat and you will be able to walk on top of them with your feet that will become a bridge in order to take you through into your next experience. You will have to go, step out of the boat, and you will have to walk these things out. You are literally walking into a season where you're about to put your money where your mouth is. All them plans, all them things that you prepare for, all that stuff that you've been working on, you about to be put to the test because you got to be able to have the character to keep you in the places that God is about to walk you into the rooms of. But the preparation in which you have walked through is about to get you the open doors and experiences in which you will be able to handle each of these. Even if you want to, you have to be willing to walk through. You have to be willing to show up, and you have to be willing to go through that whole entire experience. And He will cover you in the midst of it, making for you the ability in order to walk straightway into the situation and out of your wilderness. Because we are in a season, going back to the word I was talking about from the young woman, God is about to spotlight us. Some of us feel like when God is going to shift us into these positions and places, it's going to feel so quick that we're going to be like, what am I doing? Where am I going? And everybody's going to be looking at you like, we don't know what you need to know, but you already know because He's been preparing you. The time you've taken in the wilderness has prepared you for the season in which you're about to walk into. You'll be able to go into the rooms. You'll be able to go into the realms. You'll be able to go into the places and spaces in God, which God is willing to take you because you've already experienced the same type of experience in your wilderness season. It just wasn't to the level. But you take that same tenacity and strength and you walk in it in this next season. And that will be the catalyst that will walk you into the fullness of the manifestation of what God is calling you into. Walk in grace, walk in favor. I don't want to make this too long because I don't want to take up too much space in my memory. So remember that. So this is Todd McCameron for the ministry. Much love, faith, peace, and blessings to you. Bye-bye.